you'd like to take them outside and do them an extreme physical discourtesy. Hello, my name's Gavin, this is Genre Books, and this is the 21st of my bookshelf exploration excavations. The end is nearly in sight. Which is more than I can say for some of these books. These are the ones that are on the bottom shelf. Unless I'm moving furniture, I'm not getting to see what's in here on a day-to-day basis. So this might be a bit of a surprise for me. And hopefully I might find a few short books to help my Read What You Own challenge. From Panther Books from 1963, Richard Pape, And So Ends the World. The Earth was dying, destroyed by a cosmic holocaust of its own creating. And the Manchester Evening News, no less, calls this one spine-chilling. Tanith Lee with Delirium's Mistress, which I think is the direct sequel but part of a loosely connected series. I'm not sure I have the others. And that tunic is a little too diaphanous for family viewing. We have Hurdy, by Christopher Wilson. There's always a little bit of a risk buying a comedy. But when the comedy is about the Black Death, how are you going to miss? Jack Vance with Ports of Call, described here as galaxy-hopping, picaresque adventure from a master storyteller. This is from Tor Books and looks like sort of proper, old-fashioned space opera, but not written in the old-fashioned era. This is 1998 and paperback from 1999. This next may be one to hold over in case Framed in September makes a return next year. This is Vasari's Lives of the Artists. Kurt Vonnegut, Slaughterhouse 5. I cannot remember how old I was when I read this last. But I think the answer would be too young. I'm sure there is stuff I didn't pick up the first time of reading this, although I remember enjoying it immensely. And that's why it's in the shelves. That's why when I saw a copy going cheap, I picked it up. It's definitely one to revisit. Alan John Percival Taylor. That's AJP Taylor and his study of Otto von Bismarck. Tolkien Time and The Two Towers. I think every volume of Lord of the Rings I have is in a different imprint. And I can read modern novels. A few here from Brandon Sanderson. This is Bands of Mourning, which is the second book in the second trilogy of Mistborn, which is as far as I've got with the Mistborn trilogy. So I've read the first 4 of the, I think, 7. So this one would be next. And after that would be Shadows of Self. And when I want to start getting serious about the Sanderson, I've also got The Way of Kings, the first volume of the Stormlight archive, which is, it's a proper 1,000-pager at least, must be. Yes, 1,124 pages. So possibly not one for the Read What You Own challenge. I've not read any of the Witcher series. I've not played the game. I've seen an episode or 2 of the television series and decided that I preferred reading. But this might be my way in to Witcher. This is Swords of Destiny, a collection of short stories. Not much to say about this one. It's Virgil's The Aeneid. And 2 from Tom Wolfe. This is The Bonfire of the Vanities. And A Man in Full. For the second weekend in a row, I found I have a step back cover when I didn't think I had any step back covers. So I could have read this for Garb August, but I've read this before and it's absolutely not garbage. And also 750 pages, maybe not something I could have read in Garb August and have much room for anything else. From 1963, from Belmont Books, this is a rare science fiction edited by Ivan Howard. So here we have stories from L. Sprague de Camp, Milton Lesser, Algis Budrus, Charles V. de Vet, Alice Bullock, Robert Silverberg, Jim Harmon, and M.C. Pease. And it's a mark of quality that both Robert Silverberg and Algis Budrus's names have been misspelled on the back cover. So let's look forward to some quality here. I mean, these are good writers. This is a nice collection. But maybe a little bit of sub-editing wouldn't have gone amiss. Another science fiction anthology, this time from Magnum, which I think was a label for Methuen. This is edited by Peter Haining, and there are stories here from Murray Leinster, Isaac Asimov, Theodore Sturgeon, Ray Bradbury, Robert Heinlein, Arthur C. Clarke, Robert Sheckley, and Brian Aldiss. So all of them top-notch names. And here's that man, Arthur C. Clarke again. Tales of 10 Worlds, 15 short stories. O. Henry sees Arthur C. Clarke's 15 short stories and raises him significantly. 100 selected stories. And the first story here is probably his most famous, Some Gift of the Magi. Edith Wharton, The Age of Innocence. From Granter Books, The Intuitionist from Colson, Whitehead. And it looks like this one is signed. Difficult to tell whether that is a printed signature or actually written in. History Time now, and Medieval Europe from Chris Wickham. And my yardstick for anything about history, about medieval times, is to check how many references there are to the Hanseatic League. Unfortunately, only 5, which seems a little light for a work about medieval Europe. But I suppose you take what you can get. A handful of issues of analogue science fiction, or science fact, as it says on the cover. So this is from 1971, May 1971, October 1972, November 1973, and February 1974. Another science fiction anthology, this time edited by H.L. Gold, editor of Galaxy magazine, called The World That Couldn't Be, which is the name of the first novelette here from Clifford D. Simak. Murray Leinster, again with the monster from Earth's End. A great looking 4-square book, Aliens for Neighbours by Clifford Simak. It is unfortunately one that is falling apart, so this is a definite read from home and read very gingerly, but this is a collection of short stories. But I do have a Clifford Simak, and he is Clifford Simak here. It doesn't seem to be Clifford D. Simak today. All Flesh is Grass, and in a Panther edition which has maintained its structural integrity a little bit better. Also from Panther Books, and another from A.E. Van Vogt, this is Destination Universe. John Lymington and The Screaming Face from Belmont Books and from 1968, and a book that's seen better days, Earth Unaware from Mac Reynolds, original title Of Godlike Power. And yet another book which is falling apart, pages becoming loose, but edited by Auguste Deleth, yet another science fiction anthology, New Worlds for Old. I would like to find the person that decides. I mean, presumably this is a seller and they are marking their stock up accordingly. And thought it would be a great idea to just take a marker pen or a big coloured pencil, whatever this is, and just deface all of their stock. You'd like to take them outside and do them an extreme physical discourtesy. But this collection, originally published 1953, this version from Foursquare is from 1963, but this is another who's who of great science fiction. Ray Bradbury, Arthur C. Clarke, Carl Jacobi, Fritz Leiber, Frank Belknap Long, H.P. Lovecraft, Lewis Paget, who that is a pseudonym for C.L. Moore and Henry Kuttner, Mac Reynolds, and Theodore Sturgeon. Some P.G. Wodehouse, and Thank You Jeeves. A series of books I would love to read from beginning to end is the Émile Zola Rougon-Macquart series. Here is one of them, probably one of the more famous ones, The Masterpiece. And 2 Discworld books from Terry Pratchett, The Last Continent and Wintersmith. I have, coincidentally, this week just finished reading the first in this series of books. This is The Man from U.N.C.L.E. This is The Dagger Affair by David McDaniel, so different writers. A very slight novella from Vladimir Nabokov, Cloud, Castle, Lake. Informed Sources by Lawrence Camargue. I saw this and, to be honest, thought Garb August. James Baldwin with If Beale Street Could Talk. Bain Science Fiction and Charles Sheffield, Proteus Combined. More Tolkien, and this time sort of reconstituted ephemera rather than one of the major books he wrote. This is The Children of Húrin. And Guy Gavriel Kay, Song for Arbonne. A random issue of Rocket Stories. Yesterday's Tomorrows from the British Library. The story of classic British science fiction in 100 books. Edited by Mike Ashley. It has, as you might well imagine, a lot of H.G. Wells, but also Saki, George Griffith, William the Q, M.P. Shield, E.M. Forster, William Hope Hodgson, J.D. Beresford, Arthur Conan Doyle, H. Rider Haggard, Arthur Machen, Oliver Onions, Cicely Hamilton, Marie Corelli, J.J. Connington. It is just a wonderful collection of pressy of the various books. Proper Garb August time here, and Jerry Ahern, Survivalist. This is number 6, and I've never read a Survivalist book. I saw one, picked it up, very cheap. I'm going to give this a go because I hear so much about it. And Horror with Hell to Pay by Sean Hudson. Absolute beast of a book that I may well be reading by the time this video comes out. There is a group read of this book planned for December and January, which I will be taking part in. This is Thomas Pynchon's Against the Day. A book I actually bought new. This is Alice Loxton's Uproar, so a satire on, a study of satire in Georgian times. The Folio Society from 1970, missing its slipcase, but picked up for a couple of quid. This is Cakes and Ale by Morm. Absolute Beginners by Colin McInnes. I've never read any Patrick O'Brian, but when I saw this for, what's that, 99 pence, I thought, well, Master and Commander, let's start at the beginning and work our way through, if I like it. And finally, for today, 21st Century Science Fiction, Air by Jeff Ryman. So a bit of a mix this week. Expect the same for the next few weeks. These are, as I said, shelves which I don't have a lot of easy access to, and things just get stuffed in there and forgotten about. I realise that it's on the books that are right on the bottom of this bookcase do not get much of an airing, and I'm looking at that today thinking I actually forgotten buying this book. So this is a valuable tool for me, if nothing else. And until next time, bye.